Namaste. Today we'll be discussing a common eye problem that is called as errors of refraction. In the previous class, we have discussed stress related eye problems like dry eye. They use artificial tears, stye, which is an infection, digital eye strain, which is so common with the usage of computer and gadgets like mobiles and tablets, eye strain and its consequences, and yogic holistic approach to understanding eye problems. What is the overview of today's discussion? What are errors of refraction? There are different types of errors of refraction. Short-sightedness, that is myopia. Long-sightedness, that is hyperopia. Astigmatism, that is irregular curvature. Presbyopia, that is age-related focus difficulty. What is the prevalence of these common eye conditions? 80% of vision impairment and blindness in the population over the age of 40 is caused by 5 common conditions. Undercorrected or uncorrected refractive error, which accounts for 59% of the common eye problems. Cataract, 15%. Diabetic retinopathy, 2%. Glaucoma, 5%. Age-related macular degeneration, 10%. Now coming to today's topic of discussion, what is errors of refraction are the most common type of vision problems. These are focusing disorder of the eye. Errors of refraction are a type of vision problem that makes it hard to see clearly. You can either see something closer and not see something at a distance, or you can see something at a distance and not see something closely, or you can see something with an angle and not the way it is. The angle of refraction is not proper, or the eye may not focus correctly on the retina. What is the prevalence and risk factors of errors of refraction? All age groups can be affected by refractive error. Over the age of 40 years, 22% of the population have this problem. People over the age of 40 should have regular eye tests to eliminate refractive error as a cause of any vision impairment. Family history of refractive error is a risk factor because we will see now people could inherit the length and shape of the eye through heredity. Look at this picture. This picture, you see it from the eyes of a person who's having refractive errors. What happens? What is the pathophysiology in the errors of refraction? Refraction is the bending of light rays as they pass through one object to another. The cornea and the lens bend the light rays to focus them on the retina. When the shape of the eye changes, it also changes the way the light rays bend and focus, and that can cause blurry vision. What are the functional implications of errors of refraction? Functional implications depend on the type of severity of errors of refraction. The commonest are short-sightedness, otherwise known as myopia. There is difficulty in seeing things at a distance. Seeing things closer is not a problem. That is why it is called as short-sightedness. That means seeing things closer is possible and seeing things far away is a problem. It is called myopia. There's something called long-sightedness or hyperopia. That means seeing things far away is possible and seeing things nearby is a problem. That is difficulty seeing near objects. There is another condition called as astigmatism, that is irregular curvature of the lens and the cornea. What happens here? Here you have blurred vision. Another condition or error of refraction is presbyopia, age-related focus difficulty. Difficulty in seeing near objects occurs from 40 years onwards. You must have seen your parents or grandparents, you try to show them an interesting article in the paper. Mama will say, give me my spectacles, I'm not able to see it. Or they will keep it at a distance and try to read it. Here, there is difficulty seeing nearby objects which occurs from 40 years onwards. What are the symptoms of refractive errors? The most common symptom of refractive error is blurry vision. Other symptoms include double vision, hazy vision, seeing a glare or halo around bright lights, squinting. What happens when a person is not able to see properly? They move their head to a certain angle, especially this happens in astigmatism. You try to move, in fact, the person comes with a problem where the person has overworked a certain muscle of the eye, underworked a certain muscle, has an angle in his neck because he is not able to see clearly. Eye strain, when your eyes feel tired or sore. Trouble focusing when reading or looking at a computer. Some people may not notice the symptoms and they could just not have symptoms but have refractive errors also. That is why it is important to get eye examination regularly so the eye doctor can make sure you are seeing as clearly as possible. What causes these errors of refraction? Errors of refraction can be caused by number 1, eyeball length. When the eyeball grows too long or it is too short. Problem with the shape of the cornea, the clear outer layer of the eye, or aging of the lens. We've discussed already where is the lens. An inner part of the eye that is normally clear and helps the eye to focus. What is the treatment of errors of refraction? Errors of refraction are often treatable with glasses. Eyeglasses are the simplest and safest way to correct refractive errors. Contact lens. Contact lenses sit on the surface of your eyes and correct refractive errors. Laser eye surgery. Some types of surgery, like laser eye surgery, can change the shape of your cornea and fix the refractive errors. Apart from this, there can be low vision aids which assist people when other treatments can no longer improve vision. What are they? They could be magnifiers, lighting, adaptive technology. Now coming to understanding the eye disorders, that is refractive errors in detail. There's something called short-sightedness or myopia. What is short sight? Myopia is a condition of the eye where light focuses in front of instead of on the retina. So it is focusing in the front. Near normal, near vision, but blurry, distant vision. Remember, myopia means short-sightedness. That means the vision for nearer object is present and the vision for a object which is far away is not clear. What happens in long sight? The short sight or myopia is a condition where the eyeball of the person is too long, and therefore the sharp image which has to be at the focal point of the lens is falling too far in front of the fovea. The eyeball has become too deep now. Look at the picture. You can see that the focusing is happening in front of the retina. By the time the image reaches the fovea, it is again getting dispersed, so it is blurred. Short-sightedness, myopia. What does the person with short sight do? The person moves the object very near. Thus, the image gets pushed further back. He will be able to see better. This is called as short sight. Look at this picture carefully. You see pictorial representation of myopia. Refractive myopia is front of the eye is too strong. Axial myopia, where the eye is too long. What is the difference between axial and refractive myopia? In axial myopia, the refractive power of the eye is normal, about 60 diopters, but the eye is too long. And in refractive myopia, the refractive power of the eye is too strong, more than 60 diopters, while the length is normal. Both situations create, what do they have in common? They create a focal point in front of the retina. Now let us look at another condition, hyperopia or hypermetropia or long-sightedness. Look at this picture carefully. It's a beautiful representation where you see that the image is being focused beyond the retina, behind the retina. It is a condition of the eye in which light is focused behind instead of on the retina. Normal distant vision, but blurry near vision. What happens in long sight? The image is falling too far behind the retina. The eyeball shape had to be long. After all the possible adjustments of the lens, the good and sharp image, which is the focal point, is falling far behind. Therefore, the image becomes blurred. What does the person with long sight do? He keeps the picture too far behind. The image comes further in. This is called as long sight or hyperopia or hypermetropia. Look at this very interesting picture. You see this picture, look at the normal vision. A person with normal vision here is able to see the waterfall properly, the rock properly, the leaves on the rock properly. Myopic vision, this picture clearly depicts errors of refraction. You can see myopic vision where you have the leaves on the rock, the person is able to see very clearly, whereas the waterfall that is far away, he is not able to see it clearly. Let us look at the third picture. In the third picture, you see that the person is able to see the waterfall that is distant very clearly, and the rock with the leaves, he is not able to see it clearly. This is called hyperopic or hypermetropic vision. Let us come to a condition called as astigmatism. Astigmatism is a common eye problem that can make vision blurry or distorted. It's a type of refractive error in which the eye does not focus light evenly on the retina because of the irregular surface of the cornea. In this, there is an irregularity of the surface of the cornea. What is astigmatism? If the cornea is smooth in one plane and it is irregular in another plane, we have astigmatism. The image is not sharp and therefore one has to make corrections, which has to be done by using different types of lenses. In addition to this, hereditary tendency which makes the eyeball remain in the particular shape, just like it could be like a long nose you inherit from your parents, or the height or tall personality you inherit from your parents. The shape of the eyeball also is a hereditary tendency which leads to short sight or long sight. Look at this picture carefully. This is the normal eye. In astigmatism, you will see that there are different focal points. Normal eye, it falls on the retina. Astigmatism, you will see that there are different points of focus. The focal points are different, like how the picture depicts. What are the symptoms of astigmatism? The most common symptoms of astigmatism are blurry vision. So what happens? The person moves the eyes, blinks, needing to squint to see clearly, headaches, eye strain, trouble seeing at night. These are the symptoms of astigmatism. Now let us look at another condition of the eye called as presbyopia. Presbyopia is one of the error of refraction that makes it hard for middle-aged or older adults to see things up close. Presbyopia is a normal part of aging. That is what I said. You must have seen hypermetropia and presbyopia are different. Presbyopia is part of aging. Hypermetropia, a younger person can also have it. Everybody gets presbyopia as they grow older, usually after the age of 45. Many people have another error of refraction in addition to presbyopia. What happens in presbyopia? When light enters the eye, it passes to the cornea, then passes to the pupil. The iris, what we learnt in our anatomy class, is the colored ring of the eye that opens and closes the pupil to adjust the amount of light passing through it. After passing through the pupil, the light passes through the lens. In its healthiest state, the lens changes shape so that it can bend the light rays further and focus them on the retina at the back of the eye. With age, the lens becomes less flexible, then it cannot change its shape as easily. As a result, it is unable to bend the light properly to focus it on your retina. What are the symptoms of presbyopia? Symptoms of presbyopia include trouble seeing things up close. You know, your mother will say, bring me my glasses. That doesn't happen in hypermetropia. It can occur even in older people or younger people. But presbyopia happens mainly in older people. They will keep it at a distance, elderly people, needing to hold reading materials farther away to focus on them. Or they develop eye strain when your eyes feel tired or sore, headache. Presbyopia gets worse over time, but it usually stops getting worse after the age of 65 years. What causes presbyopia? As we age, the lens in our eye gets harder and less flexible, and it stops focusing light correctly on the retina. This makes nearby objects look blurry, commonest in elderly people. After 40, most people get it. You can say all of them get it. Presbyopia is different than farsightedness, another refractive error that makes it hard to see things up close. What is the treatment for presbyopia? In early stages of presbyopia, we can try some simple changes which help us read, like holding reading materials far away, choosing large print books, or increasing the font size on the computer. Nowadays, elderly people have iPads and tablets and mobiles. They're very busy. So what they do, they change the font size of the gadget. It is bigger, using brighter reading lights. As presbyopia gets worse, we probably need glasses or contact lenses to read. Some people use over-the-counter reading glasses, which is not as effective as when you get your eye tested and get the exact diopter for your eye. Or an eye doctor can prescribe lenses to see as clearly as possible. Now look at this picture. Presbyopia, the cornea, the pupil, the lens, and then the retina, and then the image is focused behind the retina. This is presbyopia. So we'll be having many more classes on errors of the eyesight, common problems of the eyesight, and in our next class we will be discussing about evidence-based yoga for errors of refraction. I hope all of you enjoy viewing our classes. So let us meet for the next class where we'll be discussing further disorders or further common disorders of the eye. Thank you so much. Namaste.